I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker TV. And we'd like to thank you for tuning in from wherever it is that you happen to be in the world. We have a question from a person that we're going to have on our top. This is going to be our top 5. So the question is kind of interesting. It goes like this. What if a prospect has doubts about the club and wants to back out? What happens then? So I think that's an interesting question, because a lot of people use peer pressure. Their peer pressure and things like that make you do things you don't want to do, like join a motorcycle club. And I've seen this before. And what you have is a guy that really didn't want to join in the first place, didn't like what he was getting into, and really just didn't perform when he got in. And you asked him, like, why did you even join? I don't know. I didn't really like it. So the idea is this. There are 5 things you should know. First thing you should know, prospecting is the way that you get into a motorcycle club, or it's called probating in some clubs, being a probate or probationary, or prospect in other clubs. That's the way you get in. That's the ticket in the most traditional motorcycle clubs. But the first thing you should know is, it is how the club can determine whether or not, through this prospecting period, whether or not they want to hang out with you, whether they want you to be in their club. The second thing you should know is the prospecting period is also used by you to determine whether or not you want to hang out with them, whether you want them to be your brothers, whether you want them to be yours for life. And if you determine that at some point in that time that it doesn't work for you, then number 3, it is incumbent upon you to leave and not stay any longer. So that's the time to leave. That's the time you should go, because I believe motorcycle clubs are for life. And if motorcycle clubs are for life, I only think there's like 5 reasons you should ever leave your motorcycle club. So if motorcycle clubs are for life, the only time you should really be able to leave is when you're hanging around or prospecting. So if the prospecting period is not looking good for you, that's the time to get out and go. You know what I'm saying? That's the number 4 thing. If it doesn't look good for you, then you should go. And when you go, no one in the club should be giving you a hard time. You shouldn't get any undue pressure. No one should be trying to put your name out bad, because this was the time that this was your free time. This was your free ticket. So a traditional, mature motorcycle club is not going to give you hell. Now, you might get asked not to leave, or don't go, or you can come back anytime you want to, or get the hell out of here. But you shouldn't now see them on the street a couple weeks later and they're mad at you. I know that happens, but it shouldn't be. They're mad at you because you wouldn't join. So those are your 4 things. And your 5th thing is, and I think this is one of the most important things, when you spent time in a motorcycle club, the things that happened, the things that you got to see as a prospect, most people don't get to see. So always remember that what you saw in the club remains in the club. You were let in for a period of time to see how it is that we act as a family. You might have seen some bad things. You might have seen us fight each other. You might have seen us not be able to get along with one another. But those kinds of things would forever be a secret to you, for you to keep and not discuss with anybody outside the club ever again. You keep those a secret, and that's the respectful and honorable thing for you to do when you decide to leave the club and you no longer want to prospect. So that's how I feel about that. Those are the 5 things that you should know. It's the time for the club to see you. It's the time for you to see the club. It's the time that if you don't like what's going on, you can get out. When you get out, there should be no hard feelings. And whatever you saw in the club, you should keep to yourself. If any of you have something to say in the comments, leave it in the comment section below. Maybe you left a club before, maybe you left a club you didn't like prospecting, or maybe you have some experience with prospects that you want to let us know. So leave that down in the comment section below, and we certainly thank you for tuning in. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. And he's gone. Oh, that's funny. Come on back over here.